how on earth does this happen? Well, this is the first thing I learned about pigeon genetics, which changed everything I thought I knew about pigeons and their colours. Now, I've got two blue pigeons here, a cock and a hen. And I'm not saying that either of these pigeons carry the particular gene that we're going to talk about today, because I've got absolutely no evidence that that is the case. But imagine they both carried one particular hidden gene. They could produce a youngster that looks like this. Neither parent looks anything like it at all. So how on earth does this happen? Well, this is the first thing I learned about pigeon genetics, which changed everything I thought I knew about pigeons and their colours. And it changed exactly how I look at pigeons as well, because what a pigeon shows isn't necessarily everything that it carries. Now, I've kept pigeons for years, but colours and genetics is something I've never really understood. I've heard pigeon men say this cock carries this and this hen will breed that, and if you put these two together, it'll throw this. And I've nodded along thinking, yeah, okay, of course they will. But had absolutely no idea why. So I'm going to learn pigeon genetics from the beginning, and rather than pretending I'm an expert, I'm going to take you along on the journey with me as well. So come with me, let's learn about pigeon genetics. The first thing for me that made it click was there's two different questions we need to ask about a pigeon. There's what we can actually see, and there's what it actually has genetically. Phenotype and genotype sound very, very complicated, but they're really not. Phenotype is what the pigeon looks like, what its colour is, what its markings are, what its pattern is. Genotype is what the pigeon is carrying hidden that we cannot see. So does it have something that's going to make a smoky pigeon? Does it have something that's going to make what we call a shaly pigeon? Does it have something that's going to make pencil marks on the pigeon? Is it going to throw any white in the pigeon? So both the genotype and the phenotype are very, very important, and they don't necessarily tell us the same story. Very basically, pigeons have DNA, and within that DNA are genes, and genes come in different versions, and those different versions are called alleles. That's another word that I thought sounded complicated. It's really not. An allele is just a version of a gene. A youngster inherits genetic information from both parents. So we've got dad, we've got mum, and both contribute genetic information to the youngster. Now back to these two. Neither of them show recessive-red, and I'm not saying either of them carry the gene either, but let's imagine they did. Imagine both had inherited one copy of the red recessive allele gene somewhere from their family. Because recessive-red is a recessive gene, the pigeon can carry it in its body without actually showing it on the outside. So both parents could still look completely normal, but when we breed them together, the baby could get one bit of recessive-red from its dad and one copy of recessive-red from its mum, and suddenly we get this. A recessive-red youngster from two parents that don't show recessive-red. And that is what pigeon men mean when they say a bird is carrying something. But this is important. I can't just look at this pigeon and announce that it carries recessive-red. It might not. Unless I know something about its parent, its pedigree, we simply do not know. So I'm trying really hard now to stop looking at pigeons and saying that's what it is. I'm thinking that's what it shows.
If both parents were genuinely carrying recessive-red, there's a 1 in 4 or 25% chance for each youngster to inherit the recessive-red allele from both parents.
But that doesn't mean breed 4 youngsters and number 4 is guaranteed to be red. It's a probability, that's all. So from that one mystery, we've learned quite a bit. Genes can have different versions called alleles. What a pigeon looks like is its phenotype, its genetic nature is its genotype, and most importantly, what it shows isn't necessarily what it's carrying. So here's your first genetics question. If a perfectly normal looking pigeon like this one here produces a recessive-red youngster, what does that tell us about the parent? Comment and let me know. And just as I thought I'd got my head around that, I discovered something else. A cock can hide certain colour genes in a way a hen simply can't. Why? Because of these. And once I understood what they meant, another massive part of pigeon genetics made sense.